Hello Taurus, and welcome to Sincere Tarot, where you get the raw honest truth. This is your May 2020 tarot forecast, and your theme of the month is the 10 of Wands. Duty, responsibility, obligation. Is there a creative project you've been working really hard and you've achieved like a lot, that you've like kind of not necessarily reached the end goal, but maybe reached the end goal of a particular level, and you might be feeling that it's a little bit too much weight to carry, and this is not something that is sustainable for very long. Come on, that's backbreaking. I feel like you might be doing a little bit too much without prioritizing or asking other people for help. It is okay to ask people for help. It is okay to, you know, if this is some sort of creative project, for example, or just like something with some sort of creativity, regardless, it's something you've been working on. It kind of might be the time to like get an accountant, get a cleaner, get like whatever it is, so that you have less stuff, okay? And even if you can't do that, ask friends and family, ask people for help, okay? You don't have to do this all on your own, nor should you. All right, so let's see what the rest of the month is looking like. So I've already shuffled the cards off camera, but I'm just showing you that I am cutting the deck. Ooh. All right, so the surface looks good, but I've got 3 different decks. I've got my Tarot of the Cat deck, Thoth deck, and Mystic Mondays deck, representing what's happening on the surface, beneath the surface, and advice cards. And yeah, make sure you definitely stick around until the end, where you pick your own destiny cards, okay? So you use your intuition for that, and it just gives you a little bit more personalized of a reading. Overall, looking pretty good. Very happy for you. Okay, so like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and comment, but only if they're nice comments. Okay, so first I'll show you what's happening on the surface, then I'll show you week by week, surface, beneath the surface, and advice cards for each week. All right, so these will look a little bit different when you see what's beneath the surface, okay? But it looks like the first week we've got the Ace of Wands. So this could be like a new start to this creative project, okay? Or like new spiritual energy, right? Wands, super spiritual. It's like very creative, and it's this creativity that just comes out of nowhere. Like if you're an artist or just anything really, where you need to come up with ideas and stuff like that, they literally just come out of nowhere. And yeah, I feel like there's a lot of inspiration during the first week. During the second week, we've got the High Priestess, okay? So that's the feminine aspect of the High Priest, which is you. So you are in your feminine aspect, and I feel like getting a lot of, you know, you could potentially be getting a lot of like information that's spiritual. You also might be like, I'll show you what this means in the second week. You'll see why with what's beneath the surface, but there might be some secrets that are a bit of a burden to you. And during the third week, we've got the 7 of Wands. So this is a really positive step forward with what you want to do. And I really like this card because it's like going forward with what you want to do, not necessarily, you know, going with what other people have done before. And, you know, if you want to be successful when it comes to, you know, businesses and projects these days, you really need to go to the beat of your own drum, because so many things have already been done, but you're not doing that. You're going forward in what feels right for you, and you've got the support from people when you need it, okay? And the structure. And look at this, the final week of the month, we've got the Emperor. So this is possibly an Aries influence, right? But I feel like, this might have to do with that 10 of Wands, obligation, duty, responsibility. If this is you, it's like a particular aspect of you. I'll go into more detail in a moment. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so first week. This is so cool. For the first week, like I said, we've got the Ace of Wands. So new energy, new inspiration. You might like have this brand new idea about like where you want to go with something that is, you know, creative. This can also be sexual energy. Like maybe you've met for some of you, it might be like meeting someone that's like woken you up, because, you know, sexuality is very creative because sex creates babies. So it's, you know, one and the same, right? And this is very also like Kundalini energy. So honestly, you might have had like a Kundalini awakening from meditation or something. What's beneath the surface is we've got the 4 of Discs, power. So I feel like, you know, you have been able to To me, this is like being able to bloom by having like a flower being able to bloom because it's got, you know, the right foundation, the right soil, the right size pot, things like that. So because you've got stability and healthy boundaries and things like that and structure, okay, that's allowing you to lay the foundation to have these creative ideas, have this creative energy. And yeah, it looks like it's working out great. This is your advice card. We've got the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands to me definitely represents family. So whatever feels like home, you definitely might want to be wherever makes you feel like home. So if that's where you live with your partner and your family, or even if you're just, you know, living by yourself or whatever, even if you're not like in a place that makes you feel like home and because of the situation you can't necessarily travel anywhere, like you might want to call some people in your family, like people who make you feel grounded, your rock, that help you grow a backbone. So when I say family, whatever you think of, you need to connect with that, okay? Yeah, so that's really cool. And let's see, during the second week. Okay, so during the second week, look, so we've got the High Priestess, you know, very spiritual, very intuitive, mysterious as well. So because we've got the Five of Wands beneath the surface, I feel like there might be like a little bit of conflict, and it might be internal conflict. It could also be maybe with someone else. So if this is internal conflict, I feel like you're keeping it to yourself. You might not necessarily be expressing it to people. And that might be partly what's causing a bit of this burden. This also could be someone else who's hiding something from you, and they're not expressing, and it's not like they're keeping secrets to try and deceive you. They might be keeping secrets because they don't want to burden you. But like, it's still something like within that they might not be letting you know what's going on. Also, this just could be like a bit of a conflict with someone else who's not like talking about it at all. But yeah, I feel like for most of you, it's going to be internal, okay? Your advice is the King of Cups. So the King of Cups as an advice card aspected to these cards is saying, you know, it is okay to express your emotions to people that you know, that you trust. So whoever it is that you love, whoever that you feel safe in regards to love, like you might want to express your emotions to them. And yeah, because that strife doesn't necessarily look fun. Now, at least that's a minor arcana card, so it's not the be-all, end-all. It's not like a turning your life upside down kind of strife, but it's still good to express your emotions to people that you know you can trust. All right, let's see. Come on. There we go. During the third week, like I said, on the surface, we've got the Seven of Wands. And beneath the surface, we've got the Ace of Discs, and your advice is the Chariot. So it looks like you are moving forward with a particular goal. You know, you've got all your ducks in a row, or cats, and you're moving forward with it. And, you know, I feel like this is going to be successful because beneath the surface, we've got the Ace of Discs. This is something that could definitely make you some money, get a more security and stability, like really awesome opportunity for growth. And if this is business, it could be also like something just physically related, like it's physical, like you might be making physical things, but regardless, you're going to be making money. Your advice is the Chariot. The Chariot is saying, you know, whatever your long-term goal is, like 100% go for it full force. I feel like because this is the Seven of Wands, it's very good. You're moving in the right direction, but it's a minor arcana card. The Chariot card is telling you go all in, like all in, everything, give it your all. And also this could be a Cancer influence, but you know, you definitely have that potential to make some good money. So that's good. And during the fourth week, let's see what we got. On the surface, we've got the Emperor, possible Aries, and look at this. Beneath the surface, we've got the Ten of Wands. Again, remember that was your theme, and in this deck it's called Oppression, and your advice card is the World. So okay, I feel like you might be feeling oppressed because, are you like, in a sense, maybe kind of you're either blocking yourself, or maybe like something else is blocking you. Like, okay, so if the emperor is not a person, it could be laws, rules, regulations, red tape, okay? That might be what is oppressing your creativity, because maybe you feel like you can't be creative, for example, because you've got to do your taxes, and you've got to do a website, and you've got to do all of these other things for this potential money-making opportunity. So it might be like a little bit too much. So I would suggest asking for help, okay? Also, if this is a person, this could be like someone in your life who maybe isn't necessarily supportive of your creative endeavors. I feel like that's only for a teeny fraction of you. But this could also be your mindset as well. So you might kind of like, I mean, you're such an earth sign. You're so practical, and just being like very sensible, and like, okay, these are the way things need to be done in this way, and it's hard for you to change your mind. But it actually might be the idea that like, okay, things have to be structured and done in this way. You've like made up these rules in your head, right? And that actually might be what's oppressing you, and maybe a little bit blocking this huge amount of creative energy that you do have, okay? But your advice card is the world. So the world is like the completion, right? Focus on the celebration. You have come so far. This 10 is the end, right? It goes from 1 to 10, then it goes to like the court, and then the major arcana cards, okay? But like, just seriously, celebrate how far you've come so far. This is like the end. Celebrate, this is the end of a cycle, and you need to level up, right? You need to go on to the next level, okay? Like in a game, you finished one level, you need to go to the next, right? So you really also might be wanting to think globally. Like that might also include like expanding whatever, project or creative endeavor it is that you have, like globally. Like if you're just local, think, there's going to be loads of people around the world that might want your product or your service. Yeah, but the main thing, just remember that 10 of Wands energy, like you shouldn't be doing this all on your own. All right, so pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. Pick the first number that comes to your head. Never second guess yourself, because your intuition says the first number, and then your ego is like, no, let's pick this number. Okay, maybe. I don't even sound like that when I'm talking to myself in my head, but okay, so 1, 2, or 3. But please tell me, what is this creative endeavor? What's this project that you're working on? Yeah, you've got 2 aces, so definitely some new opportunities, new potentials. And oh, that's cool. You don't even have 1 sword in here, so you're super tapped into, creative endeavors, but also very practical about it. It's all Wands and Pentacles. That is so cool. All right, if you picked one, all right, if you picked one, on the surface, we've got the Queen of Swords. Beneath the surface, 2 of Wands, Dominion, and your advice is the King of Pentacles. So the Queen of Swords is very so we've got our first sword now in the deck. Is very logical, and okay, so essentially you need to be thinking about things logically when you're planning. This is all about planning, not necessarily moving forward yet. Maybe it's because you've completed this cycle. I've got the 10 of Wands twice, the end of the cycle. You need to be planning the next level, not necessarily, and you've got this idea, right, with the Ace of Wands, so the 2 of Wands is the next step. So you've got this idea. If you picked one, you need to be thinking logically, rationally, step by step, almost like detached. Plan. And your advice is the King of Pentacles. Yes, that's the King. So the King is very business oriented, very business savvy, good at maths and money and things like that. And you are an earth sign, so really just put your business suit on and just I'm not a business person. You would probably be better at it than me, but just do the business, be smart, you be wise. You can 100% do this. Be practical, and you will definitely be successful. If you pick 2, let's see what we've got. Ah! Is this why you're oppressed? So, on the surface, we've got the Page of Cups. Beneath the surface, the 5 of Discs. Don't worry, it's minor arcana, so it's not as, and it's very transitional. 5's about halfway, so it's not it'll change soon. And your advice, 6 of Cups. Okay, so I feel like you are, the main reading, yes, you're doing really, really well with this creative endeavor, moving forward. That's brilliant. However, I feel that, are you not fully, okay, this could be a message that you really have, this could be a message that stresses you out. Are you stressed and maybe even a bit emotionally upset? Are you also sitting idle and just not really doing anything with all of this energy that you have? And that might be stressing you out. Did you have a particular loss of a job or money or something to do with finances and stability, stocks, anything like that? And you're just beginning to come to terms and beginning to be balanced emotionally again, but you're still feeling really, really stressed. Sorry for a little laughing. Yeah, so I think that there's something going on within you, and you're just feeling that you don't necessarily have the security that you need. I feel there's a bit of emotional healing that really needs to happen. Your advice is actually, I would just honestly say to positively focus. You might want to treat yourself as well. What self-soothing did you do when you were a child? I mean, I'm talking, did you cuddle with a stuffed animal? Do that. Did you have bubble baths? Do that. Just watch cartoons that you liked when you were a kid. You really need to do some self-soothing and take care of yourself and really be nurturing the inner child. So think about, it's not necessarily what you want today, it's about what your inner child wants. So put both your hands on your heart and ask your inner child, what do you want? And whatever it is, do it. Because if you don't do it, then you are neglecting your inner child. You don't want to do that. Okay, if you pick 3. Ooh, yay. Okay, so if you picked 3, on the surface, we've got the Chariot, possible Cancer influence. Beneath the surface, we've got the Princess of Cups. And your advice is the Sun. So if you picked 3, you are, you've taken the advice from the Chariot during the 3rd week, and you are moving forward with this creative opportunity that's going to be bringing you potentially a good amount of money and security, and wealth. And you're moving forward with it, and that's a great energy to have. So well done. And beneath the surface, we've got the Princess of Cups. So I feel like, even though you're an earth sign, maybe you have a decent amount of water in your chart. If you're not sure, go to cafeastrology.com, natal chart report. And you are just tapped into this really awesome emotional energy. So your creativity might come more from your emotion rather than spirit, if that makes sense. It might come from your heart. And you're just going with the flow and allowing messages to come to you and going with it. Whatever feels like the least amount of resistance, kind of like flowing down a river. So that's great. You're allowing your emotions to guide you in a positive way, and you will likely see success. Your advice is the Sun, so just remember, you will get everything that you want. The Sun, in my opinion, is the best card of the deck. It's pure joy, celebration of life, just all the good things in life. Can't complain with that. And also, if there's some sunshine where you are, enjoy the sunshine. Get out there, get some sun, get your vitamin D, and remember to celebrate life. And to celebrate, it's not all about work, it's also about celebration. If you'd like a private reading, send me an email or check out my website. That's all in the description box below. And I do monthly, mid-monthly readings, so definitely make sure you're subscribed. And if you're still here, ooh, ooh. Okay, I have to say it. This one popped out, and sometimes I'll put them back in, but I feel like, okay, I felt like I really needed to show you this one. The Seven of Cups. So there might be something that is, there might be some deceit. Someone might be lying to you, false promises. It honestly, it could be, if something seems too good to be true, then it likely is. So just investigate things very carefully. Ooh, and also be careful if you're abusing substances or any type of addictive behavior, okay? Because that will cloud your judgment. All right, have a great month. Bye.